G'day and welcome back to Maintenance Break, bite-sized insights one break at a time. I'm Pete.
And I'm Drew. Pete, I want to start with a report you actually wrote. Real fleet, real question. How many workshop bays does the site actually need? And here's the twist. You ran it two completely different ways and landed on the same bay count both times.
Yeah, that one stuck with me. Same fleet, same answer, but one method took me weeks more work. That's the thing that report taught me. Getting to the right number was never the hard part. Getting to it fast without fudging anything along the way, that's the actual skill.
Two ways to calculate workshop bay requirements, both landing in the same place.
Two different methods, same destination, if you do them properly. One's a zero base build-up. The other is what we typically use, and it's top down.
All right, walk me through the zero base one first. What does build it from zero actually mean?
You take every single asset on site, pull its full maintenance strategy, every tire change, every wash, every service, and multiply the frequency by the duration. Then you add the whole lot up. Say a haul truck needs a 500-hour service that takes 4 hours and it runs 6,000 hours a year. That's 12 services, 48 hours for that one truck. You assign it to a maintenance location and do that for every asset. From there, it's just maths.
Sounds thorough.
It is, and done properly, it gets you to the right number. But it's only as good as the maintenance strategy sitting underneath it and how well you line up the component next dues and the assumptions you make for the corrective and breakdown work.
You can never actually get away from making assumptions.
No, but here's the trap that catches people out. You're continually adding maintenance time, task by task, outage by outage. And if you never stop to check that running total against what the fleet's actual availability is telling you, you can end up a long way off. Could be well short, could be well over. You wouldn't know either way.
Short? I thought the worry was always the number creeping up too high.
That's usually where the creep starts, funnily enough. The honest build-up comes in well short of what the fleet's really costing you in bay demand, because the scheduled maintenance list is not the full picture. And instead of going back and asking why it's short, people start padding assumptions to close the gap.
What's it missing that a scheduled list just can't catch?
You've still got your corrective work and your breakdown sitting completely outside any task list. So you've got to layer assumptions on top just to ensure workshop demand is captured.
Right. Is there anything else?
Bay sterilisation for one. Take a major component change. Where bays are too small, it's not uncommon to use the bay beside as a staging area for components. Other causes to sterilise the bay beside are keeping free for a tyre handler or mobile crane access. Neither of those are extra maintenance time. It's the same task, it just uses more than one bay than the task duration on its own would suggest.
So the bay's blocked for reasons that have got nothing to do with how long the maintenance takes.
Exactly. None of that shows up on a maintenance strategy document because it's not a task, it's a footprint requirement. Zero base counts the work. It doesn't count what the work actually needs around it and is often overlooked in zero base capacity buildups.
And how honest do those assumptions usually turn out to be?
Depends who's under pressure to justify a bigger workshop. I've seen it happen more than once. Those assumptions get quietly nudged upward, one line at a time, until the final workshop demand across the whole fleet is bigger than the underlying work actually supports. It still looks rigorous, every number's got a source, it's just that a few of those sources were fudged to get the answer someone wanted. That's the real risk. Not that zero base is wrong in theory.
So, done properly, it gets you there. Talk me through the top-down version and why we use it.
Top-down starts from the other end entirely. You don't ask, what should the fleet need? Availability already gives you the answer to How much maintenance downtime did this fleet actually have? That number's not an assumption, it's a fact the fleet already handed you. Your whole job after that is just working out where it went.
So you're not building the number, you're just allocating it.
That's exactly it. You place every maintenance event you can identify: your washers, your tyre changes, your PMs, your shutdowns, against whichever maintenance location it actually happens in. Then, whatever's left over, the harder to calculate stuff, goes into one nominated bucket. We call it the residual, and it's usually somewhere like field repair or the general maintenance bay, wherever genuinely makes sense for that leftover work to land on a particular fleet.
And that residual is doing some heavy lifting.
It's the single most consequential decision in the entire model, Drew. Nominate a workshop bay as your residual, and every hour you never measured gets counted straight into your bay demand. Nominate somewhere like field, work that genuinely happens out in the pit, unlimited capacity, no bay attached to it, and that same unmeasured time doesn't inflate your bay count at all. I used to call these maintenance workshops. Now I call them maintenance locations, because half the value is in the places maintenance happens that were never a bay in the first place.
Doesn't that mean you're still making assumptions? Same problem as zero base?
You're still making assumptions, sure, but they're a different class of assumption. Zero-base assumptions are buried inside 100 individual task lines, easy to nudge one at a time and never get caught. The top-down approach is just a handful of assumptions sitting out in the open, with the largest impact being, where does the residual maintenance go? You can document those calls and validate it against what you actually know about the site. The great part is, it's easy to review the list and anyone can challenge it. It's reasonable precisely because it's visible.
All right, Pete, time for the break tip.
Okay, if you've got an expanding fleet and need to calculate potential new workshop requirements, use a top-down approach and keep it simple by identifying locations your maintenance happens. Work with the team to define what happens at each location and make reasonable assumptions on the allocation to each space.
And don't forget to capture those activities that currently add to your demand. While you may build a bigger workshop to eliminate these, you need to know the impact they currently have.
You don't have to overcomplicate it to come up with a reasonable answer. That's us for today. If you found this episode useful, like, subscribe, and share it with a mate. Until next time, take care.
And keep those assets running.